I just do this cause I'm boss. I don't do this for the clout. I'm living it up in the now. I'm a guard on the mouse. She don't wanna be my vixen. Only if I bump up my listens. Bump up my sales. Couldn't really tell. Forgot about the thought and the way that she smells. Spark the Final Fantasy. That Tifa. Keeping my lungs like a puka sativa. So loud that break down your speakers. It should be like 5 bands for a feature. I'm the guard and I can't deny it. I just came through with the peak of fire. I just distribute to nearest buyer. I just be skirting till I pop my tire. All your favorite rappers in the closet. In my trash can hyperbolic. So many highness I'm menaging. Sipping so hard might be monogamous.
Who?
Hola, Tozo. Tazo Kamate, you already know. Yvonne, or fourth dimensional hitchhiker. Spell it 4DHXH, you know. I brought my boy along. You know who he is. Coming in from the 909, the San Bernardino, the city itself, you know. I do music videos, I do graphics, album covers, I do my own set of music, my own beatboxing, beats, all these things. And of course I perform live, and then of course just there's an overall vision there. I have to be encapsulated in all hats, creative hats of art, you know.
If you can accept it, go ahead and take this load. Go ahead expecting me to break out this mold. If you can accept it, go ahead and take this load.
I guess fourth dimension. What's the meaning behind your name?
Fourth dimensional hitchhiker. Shoot. So the original name was like Yvonne the Nomad, fourth dimensional hitchhiker. So, and that name was a mix. It was just like I was rapping it already as Yvonne the Nomad. I had like a few songs, but I didn't release anything. I was like 19. It was in the year 2014, between like the first half of that year. I was Yvonne the Nomad, but then the second half of that year, I experimented with a little more psychedelics. I'll be honest, I've seen a lot more interesting hip hop scenes that were based around art pieces that they've made, based around, you know, just stream of consciousness in their delivery, you know. Examples maybe like Lofty 305 or Ruben Slick and all them, or Denzel Curry and all these guys, you know. And it's crazy too because they have a direct connection with the IE scene through like Speaks and a few others, and even I think Noah even tried booking Ruben Slick, all these cats. But you know, connecting some little beat type shit, but then connecting all these other like Def Jux cats that I listened to. It's funny too because when I talked to Lofty said he listened to that and even compared my stuff to Def Jux. And Def Jux is an old label that a lot of them hip hop heads, the hardcore hip hop heads know about. But see, I was like a weird combination between all that, and yeah, fourth dimension. So yeah, anyways, Yvonne. So it led me to call myself fourth dimensional hitchhiker. I don't know how I caught on. It just kind of came to me, and I connected the name. And then once the next year came up, I started just going by 4D hitchhiker. And then I went back to just fourth dimensional hitchhiker. So I was switching off between that when it was like late 2015 going to 2016. I kept switching the name between those two. And then by the time 2016 came towards the end, then I started thinking, well, I mean, shoot, there's got to be a way to search the name without having problems. So Jay Meeks introduced to me the idea when he was working with me. He was going like, oh yeah, go by 4DH, you know? And that's an easy way to go by, and I thought it worked for a little bit. Checked it out online, and it was like hard to come across a name. So then I had to think, well, what's another way to do it and actually add my own flair to it? So 4DHXH is what I spelled, but then I adapted now what pronunciation. And for you being Salvadoreño yourself, one of the main tribes, Pipil, is also speaking like the majority of them are speaking Nahuatl themselves. They're all descended from Olmecs, with tribes from there to Guatemala to Honduras to like central to South Mexico. Like all of that Mexica territory was speaking Nahuatl. And I adapted it into the HXH as a thing. That's why I say, like, that's why, like, so connecting like, that's how I came up with how I do that now.
I guess you kind of mentioned it a little bit. Like, what got you into the culture?
What got me into the culture? So, really, I had, really when I started, and because I was listening, because when I first started listening to music, it was all like mainly alternative music. I mean, fuck, I was listening on the way. I was listening to like Serj Tankian or I mean, I always listen to Rage Against the Machine. As I know you, because I see you drawing this music de las rocas. Yeah, I was listening to that or just Flowbots or something, just all those bands that I felt so cool listening to back in 2009, and and my knowledge wasn't like too deep of like hip hop culture besides a certain circle of underground hip hop. Like my mind was pretty closed-minded about like everything else, didn't even understand like the significance of certain songs. I didn't realize all those things. I didn't even measure how to respect an artist. I just kind of just saw it like any other like nerdy YouTuber, like reading into the hip hop culture, So I felt like I was just like outside. What really got me into the culture, or at least wanting to read into it, was really working with Black Kush, one of the first artists I was doing music videos for and doing recordings with. I had a microphone and I just let him use it because I knew he was gonna put it to use. And got me into it slowly but surely. But yeah, nowadays, coming up with lyrics, being at shows or just being directly involved with the culture, that's just second nature to me. Like any regular day job type of thing or any normal things like people going out to a bar to drink or something. I don't feel appealing. I don't feel drawn to that. I'm drawn to these crazy ass shows where like we're hopping around and like screaming lyrics along to each other and connecting people of all colors together and of all cultures and feeling what they got to say and giving them a lane to have a message. That's just what's hip hop to me. Mos Def said it himself. Mos Def was always like 5-10 years ahead of his time, and even Mos Def, I could say Mos Def, MF Doom, A$AP Rock. They were like those three definitely inspired me to write the most when I was first writing hip hop lyrics and stuff. So yeah, I mean, before I even met Kush, I was writing a lot already too. It was just like certain circles of underground hip hop, just somehow. Yeah, I mean, Immortal Technique was really the first rapper I got into and discovered. You know what I'm saying, myself, and felt like, oh yeah, that's that. But the stuff he talks about, I know, like. I can't really talk about the same things. Like, I can't say I've seen or gone through like half that shit, At the end of the day, if you love what you do, then you're supposed to have fun doing it, no matter how serious the project is,
Right. Like where there's pure joy coming out. It doesn't feel like it's a chore. Or like an obligation, like, oh, I have to get it done. And it's one of the rules that I always follow within myself. Like, if it becomes a chore, like just get a painting or illustration out, then I just need to step away from it and just do whatever, like just retreat or like whatever, or just write something else and then come back to it when I'm ready. And that I generally want to do it rather than just have it as a task. And something like going back into like role models, like what you mentioned, as it's something that's making me aware now, like, and I believe that's like one of the problems, like when people end up meeting their so-called role models and it's not what they expect them to be. It's because they're holding them up to agree. And like just what you mentioned is like, it's good to be inspired. And like even some of these people that actually came out and said like, no, I'm not a role model, like they're just giving them the heads up to like people that may feel that way,
because if they want to talk to somebody, they want to talk to somebody who would be their friend, like someone who would actually someone who actually listened to them directly, not approach them as a fan or. I mean, see, I'm not gonna say because we're getting an interview right now. No, but like as a interviewer or paparazzi, like on that sense, like just like, you know, like a robot
Right.
essentially. You know, obviously, a lot of artists wouldn't want to talk to that. And you know, you're giving a real interview too. So like, don't even think I'm taking shots at you.
No, you're good. Don't trip.
But interviews, yeah. But yeah, if you mix like people like they don't want to talk to robots fans or interviewers. Like they those are just like 1 minute conversations and moving on.
Right.
know?
Like it's
And-
just forming through the status quo.
And I've met like rappers I was fans of, and like you know I just treated them like another person, and I didn't, you know, and we were just humble to each other and just listened to what each other had to say, and it was cool. Yeah.
Me going off a tangent, like, did you face opposition from your side of family?
Family, man. Yeah, so you know, I just usually stay out of the house just because I don't like to like dive too deep into what I do.
Mhm.
To you know, because I know, like I actually so I had a release party for one of my newest music videos. If you guys don't know about it, it's called MPG2 by 40HXH. MPG2. The music video was directed by myself. I had two different people film. One was filming with two different cameras that were my own, and then one of them was filming me with a drone, and I combined all that footage, got some green screen footage of myself, put around that, and made this young masterpiece. I have even a 360 version where you could throw on your virtual reality goggles and look around. Anyways, I had a release party for that, and yeah, I had my parents come through. That was the first time they'd ever seen me perform, you know. It didn't look like a real concert. It just looked like it was at Serious Cartoons too. You know?
Oh, okay.
And yeah, I mean, shit. There was a lot of people there's a lot of people all mosh pitting at once, and you know, and a lot of like you know, a lot of people indulging, smoking, drinking. I guess you know, and strumming, and yeah, it was cool, and it was cool to see like, you know, my parents actually getting the chance to see it, but you know, them seeing that I went through all these years of college, these 4 years of college. I had a degree in so if you see I had a degree in video production and stuff, like video production through media studies. So it was a bachelor's in art. You know, I had that. Maybe 50-something thousand in debt. You know.
Yeah, mine is like
a little
66,000.
You see,
So, yeah.
you already know what's up, you know. And then of course, you know, parents who don't like I mean, I can't say they scratch more than above the surface of hip hop culture, honestly. Like so honestly, like when my mom didn't see me with the 9-to-5 job, and I was continuously working on music or at least like getting my mind in a creative state.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would be hit with really, you know, I would be hit with opposition or some self-destructive aspect, you know, just like, you know, them calling me a failure in life, you know, them calling me, them saying that, like, I guess they're trying to find an excuse out because they don't understand my music. They just think that music is angry or negative. Like, yeah, you know, there's a lot of backlash, but at the end of the day, my mom respects me enough to say there's nothing really stopping you from being creative. So really, if she doesn't approve of it, it doesn't stop me. But she said in a way to make me feel guilty, like, oh,
right.
You say you're not gonna change anything because what I say doesn't matter to you. That's how she goes about it. You know, and honestly, what she say does matter to me. You know,
yeah, you're notorious for that.
You know, So yeah, you know what I'm going through in that sense, man. Like within that sector, you know, just so now I'll not have a clean slate, but like now I could really focus just on everything, on all the things I'm already working on. So I mean, I'm gonna say this, like everything I work on probably seem like it would be like at least 5 months to maybe 2 years ahead of time, like a lot of stuff that I work on. But nowadays, since there's a lot more content to be made and stuff like that, I have to focus on things that like would be made and put out within a month, you know. I know that I gotta do that. so like that's really how like the consistent artist gotta work, you know. So, you know, another thing too, I'll also announce that I'm 24 now. When I'm 25, I'm gonna start an album that will release when I'm 30. So I'm always gonna make sure that's out there. I might put it under a different name. Who knows? You know, it all depends. Like if she like that, like I want that to take off in its own sense. O Pampito is gonna take off like regardless. I already have the material that I know he's gonna blow up with. You know, so I'm confident in that. I'm good with that. Like I at least know that like even with this stuff that I have out of Fourth Dimensional Hitchhiker, if someone's gonna like do the research, they know they're gonna come across something ignited, or what the kids say, lit. You feel me? So so I'm making sure that this interview at least gives everyone that heads up that like that Fourth Dimensional Hitchhiker is already becoming somebody, but really will be making impact in the future. Like, and will continuously make an impact.
So you mentioned earlier that, I mean, you do your own videos and shoot your own photography, so you're pretty much just a visionary. So you have multiple hats. How long have you been doing that?
I had to wear all these creative hats since maybe like halfway through college, and I was about 19 going into 20. I'm 24 now, so yeah, at least 5 years or so. I was, you know, making a lot of music videos and recording and you know, trying to mix and produce a lot of songs, you know. I was doing all those things. I had to wear all these creative hats in order to just feel the least bit sane, because if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have any motivation to just, you know, just live normal. Like I would just be stuck if it wasn't for these things, you know. I don't even think I would finish college if I wasn't just able to be creative or find time to be creative, you know. You know, finding time to be creative is one of the most essential things in life, you know. Like, it's the only time where, like, you really being who you are, what you discover, is the only way to make something, you know.
That's what's up.
Being in tune with yourself, you know. Being in tune with yourself is just, it's so essential. You gotta love everything. You gotta love everything in that moment. You gotta love what you have. If your energy is not right, then you distribute all the energy that you probably were going through that day into the art, and then it makes something beautiful, you know. Like paint your vivid picture, because no one's gonna paint it for you, and those who paint it for you are just gonna use it to their advantage, you know. So like have your vision. If you're painting with somebody, you gotta have your call. You gotta remind someone that this is where you're at, you know, and that if you want like true success from it, like, don't just tell people that you create or are an artist. You be someone who, like, you know, like how I was saying I do all the creative hats. I mean, even if you're not creative in this aspect, like, find a way to be creative in that aspect, like, or at least direct somebody who is creative in that aspect already. if you can't, if you can't do that. Like, you gotta just be a producer at the end of the day, in all senses of the word,
Actually, going into that, when it's all said and done, and you're about to hang it up, what is it that you want people to remember you by?
Man, I want to be remembered for an artist that is able to do everything on every plane, and do very well at it. Be something. Be someone who can do what not very many can do, but provide it in a way that everybody can come and become creative, And when I say it's something not everyone can do, it's because I did it myself in a unique way. I have a unique delivery. I don't settle for just saying lyrics or saying lyrics that everyone has said before. Putting 2-3 words together that I haven't heard in my life been put together. Like those type of things. Shout out to Black Kush again, because he's the one who told me like lyricism is sometimes lyricism really is about putting words together that never been put together before, Yeah, things like that. Or being known for having a visual aspect that is so quality and so like mesmerizing. Like that's probably a word I would just be known for having mesmerizing material, and like in all senses of the word, Gotta have all senses. I don't want them to just hear something dope. I don't want them to just see something that looks dope on screen. I want them to embrace all of it in order to see it, And in order to have all the senses capture it, Because an artist is supposed to capture all the senses in some sense or another,
Yeah, that's what's up. Last question. What advice can you give an untapped artist? An untapped artist being someone in your position, or say like a younger self of you, like maybe 10 or 20 years ago, just look at a reflection of yourself.
What does an untapped artist mean to you?
Untapped artists, like, it can be like anyone or someone that is inspired by you, like giving advice that they want to follow in your footsteps, or like what advice can you give to an artist that's in your shoes or in your position?
The advice I have for you, for everybody that wants to get into something creatively, that wants to, I guess, look up to me and follow in your footsteps, is again, don't have role models, become your own role model, believe in yourself, but like understand where, like, what you may sound, be like when you are at your elevated plane. Know where you're going, like you don't have to know what tomorrow holds, but know what your future holds, at least. I can't say, I'm still working on that myself, but I understand that everyone else, like, who needs to hear that, like, needs to go by that instead of believing that just, collecting a certain amount of money here and there, like, it costs nothing to be creative.
Mm-hmm.
That's facts. Like, in fact, the most creative people in the world probably save thousands of dollars on one software over getting another software, things like that, or they save thousands of dollars in actually making free energy just from being creative, So this is a creative extension that goes beyond just art. This is talking about like those who are engineers, martial artists. Yes, I was a martial artist for like 10 years, so I have a second degree black belt, and yes, I am reserved as a weapon, so I don't buy weapons. I don't tote guns like other rappers and stuff like that. But I'm telling you right now, don't hesitate to create. That's, there's a rhyme right there for you. Don't hesitate to create. Don't don't be about your doubt. Don't hesitate to create. You know, find your higher plane and create your own lane. If you want to find my music, I got several different outlets. I mean, so I have, you know, the SoundCloud, Spotify, the iTunes, Deezer, Apple Music, Pandora, everything. And you just find me as an artist, like 4DHXH. That's not even sign language, but you get my point. So yeah, search 4DHXH. If you want to like see my visual outlet where I have all my music videos and all those things, it's Outer Galactic Marauder Faction. I know it's a long ass name, so bear with me. You could probably find it. You could probably type in the gram Outer G and you'll find me. Like, you'll find me pretty instantly. It's a pretty unique name, you know. OGMF. Oh yeah, is also on the gram too, you know. And then the last outlet for those who are not interested in my trippy ass art and music, you know, they can always find Old Pampito. His is ol.pampito, POMPITO.999. That's the only thing he really has. He has the gram, but he also has a SoundCloud as just Old Pampito, like OLPOMPITO. You find him, you'll find something interesting, you know. that's like I said, that's for those who are just, you know, they're not ready for my knowledge, or they're not ready for like the things that I make, you know. They're not ready for, you know, search tanking and rap game search tanking, you know. I don't know. So it's all love, man. So all love at the end of the day. All love to you. Thank you for even sticking around to see what I got to say, you know. Sometimes what I say I don't feel like matters, but I know I know it's beautiful out here, you know. It's beautiful to be living at this time, you know. Just like if things get better or worse, just know you'll be okay. If you truly believe in yourself and truly believe you have a reason to live on this planet. So like just bring life to everything you know, bring life to everything that you're surrounded by, you know. And that will just simply give you life. You feel me? So, yeah, fourth dimensional hitchhiker, giving it to you live. Miguel, sixth dimensional cloud walker. You already know what it is. One love, brother. Adios. Not a baby, it's a piece of nothing. Hina baby, piece of body curvature, scrumptious. Y'all know I want everything, including all the tunkus. And it's dripping dopamine in every little thing I pry. Between swear hot by my blood. Can't get enough of that. Begging all that gula. Got me saying oola. Eating all that moolah. Hacking all computers, getting my Medusa. But with the good luck, all love to the putas. I'm whipping the masa and munching pupusas. Could do it no sooner. My roots are the sewer. But I'm coming back as my last rifle suitor. Not a baby, it's a piece of nothing. Hina baby, piece of body curvature and scrumptious. Y'all know I want everything, including all the tunkus. And it's dripping dopamine in every little thing I pry in between.